AITA for telling my friend that I won't be there for her when her BF cheats again? I have a pal called Tracy, 16 female, whom I've known for around 11 years. We were neighbors who grew up together. I moved away, yet we remain good friends. Tracy met a boy named Austin, 17 male, online around 7 months ago. I'm not sure how they met, but I'm quite sure it was via a computer game. She'd shown me some images of him, and I was worried. I told her he didn't look 17 and questioned if he was telling the truth. She felt irritated and immediately changed the topic. This is important. I had played Minecraft with them both once, and he was something. He kept making funny jokes and blasting fart sounds. They started dating after 2 months, and even though I didn't understand why she would date someone she met online, I still backed her. They've had a tumultuous relationship since. They'd split up 1 week, then re-established their relationship the next. I've lost count of how many times they've split up and reconnected. I kept telling her that she should simply call it quits with him, particularly given how he abuses her. The entire situation is aggravating. She would constantly complain about him to me, yet she would always return to him. Tracy received an Instagram post from one of Austin's pals around 2 months ago, notifying her that Austin was 15, not 17. She was depressed and blocked him for a time. I was there for her and assisted her in getting over him. I even attempted to introduce her to other people. Unfortunately, she unblocked him after a month, and they started dating soon after. I attempted to persuade her not to rekindle her relationship with the man who had been lying to her the whole time, but she disregarded me. Tracy had just gotten a message from a girl who was Austin's buddy. Tracy found out Austin was cheating on her with a girl at their school. He had been cheating on her since she had banned him 2 months before. Tracy had contacted me, so I headed over to her place. I remained the night because I was sorry for her, and I departed the following day. She didn't answer my messages for a few days following that. She phoned me yesterday to tell me about a lengthy chat she had with Austin and how she had forgiven him. This is where I could be a TA. I told her about everything he's done to her, how he cheated on her, lied to her about his age, and some of the nasty things he said to her. I advised her to think about it for a long time, but she said he was sorry. I kept telling her not to go back to that man, but she simply brushed it off. I became irritated and told her so. Okay, well, let's get back together. Don't count on me to be there for you if he cheats on you again. She became silent and hung up the phone without saying anything. She hasn't gotten back to me since. Right now, I'm feeling a lot of guilt. I feel bad for saying anything since it isn't my relationship. So, what's up, AITA? Story 2. AITA for not attending my friend's wedding on the day of my family's death anniversary. I, 35 female, lost my husband, daughter, and mother in a vehicle accident 7 years ago. They were struck by a drunk vehicle who ran a red light and murdered all of them instantly. Their deaths had a significant impact on me, and if it hadn't been for my friends and years of counseling, I would be in a much worse position. I am grateful for their support and have been able to properly process my sorrow. 2 years ago, I accepted a job offer with better perks than my present one and relocated from one location to another. I returned to see friends and, of course, to visit my family's cemeteries on their death anniversaries. It's a 7-hour drive or around an hour via air. Last year, because of COVID, I drove to avoid interaction with others and remained at my old residence. This year, I went to do the same thing, but I ran into a snag when a friend's wedding was scheduled near my hometown. My buddy Amy, 33 female, false name, revealed last year that she was engaged to her 3-month boyfriend. My friend group and I were astonished since we had never met him and had no idea she was seeing anybody, as we typically inform each other, but we congratulated her and were pleased for her. They were meant to be married last year, but owing to circumstances, they had to postpone it till this year. We are not in the United States, by the way, and COVID instances are currently fewer than 10 in my nation. We are permitted to have gatherings of no more than 15 people, which is what Amy chose to do for her wedding. Amy phoned me personally about a week earlier to inform me about her wedding arrangements. She informed me that she is holding it on the same day as my family's death anniversary, and that she would prefer that I not visit their graves and instead attend the wedding. I was surprised that the wedding was scheduled on that precise day, and went. I asked Amy why she chose that day. She told me that she simply liked the numerical date and that I couldn't just gatekeep a certain day. When I inquired why I couldn't go visit my family's cemetery, she said that she doesn't want my pain and loss to overshadow her wedding. I was really taken aback by what she said. I am aware that I am fairly emotional, but I'm also aware of how to collect myself and act in particular situations. I informed Amy that sadly, I would not be able to visit my family's graves since I'm the AH. I attempted to make a deal with her, telling her that if my feelings were so bad, I'd go visit their graves once the wedding was finished. She stated she needs my help for the whole day and that I should devote it to her, but she'll think about it. I haven't heard from her in a week, and I feel like I should simply go to the wedding to preserve the peace since I owe it to her, particularly after all the support and love she provided me when my family died. But it still doesn't seem right to simply go to the wedding and ignore my family. Would I be an AH if I informed her I won't be able to attend the wedding if she hasn't made a decision update? Hello there, Reddit. I'd want to begin by thanking everyone who responded. I was not anticipating such a high level of interest in my article. I have read all of your remarks and want to thank you again. After reading your compassionate answers, I burst into tears and became an emotional wreck. Thank you for your love and support. I've always felt like an emotional burden to my pals, so thank you for your supportive comments and for asking me to keep my head held high. Despite the fact that we were all strangers on the internet, it seemed like I had joined a new family. My heart goes out to the folks who have privately messaged me about the loss of loved ones due to drunk driving. Please know that I understand your anguish, that you are not alone in this, and that I wish you all the love in the world. Now for the update. I did as several of you recommended and phoned my other pals to inform them about Amy's request. They were furious and unhappy for me since they had no clue what Amy had planned for the wedding. We scheduled a Zoom chat with her the next day to discuss why she was being so insensitive to me. The call, on the other hand, was a fight. Amy began out calmly, but suddenly she flared up. You were correct when you claimed Amy was envious of the attention I had gotten on my family's death anniversary, and her wedding was a means for her to transfer the emphasis back to her. She attempted to persuade us that having the wedding on that day would change a terrible circumstance into a good one. When she realized she wasn't persuading me enough, it was as if a mask had gone from her face, and she began ranting and criticizing me. She expressed her dissatisfaction with having to play the supportive friend position and said, "It's been 7 years. I should simply get over it or go join my family in the grave." My pals were enraged and called her every nickname in the book. I'm absolutely startled and disappointed in the person who used to be a buddy of mine. It pains my heart to know that I've lost another person in my life, but I suppose you're correct in the sense that she was never really a friend. Looking back on our friendship, I know it was often one-sided on my part. I'm sorry it took me so long to discover it. No one in our 6-person buddy circle is going to her wedding right now. We've chosen to stop communicating with Amy and block her on all social media platforms. My friends volunteered to accompany me to my family's graves, which I accepted, and we are now preparing to construct a scrapbook with my family's images. For the first time in a long time, I am looking forward to this day and will begin to arrange more adventurous events like this. Thank you all again for your assistance in getting me through this, and please, please, please do not drink and drive. I implore you. Everyone, please drink responsibly and drive safely. Edit. Once again, I was surprised by the amount of attention. Thank you everyone for your warm sentiments and sorrow. I am really in tears. I am grateful for your love and support. I don't believe I deserve the honors you bestowed upon me, but thank you for your consideration. Some have inquired about Amy's fiancé and his comments. We have yet to hear anything since we have yet to meet him. We attempted to see him numerous times last year, but something always came up. We'll never know his genuine sentiments, I suppose.